Hey guys, I'm here with Mahaley Cronk. She is a senior on our women's track and field team. And Mahaley, just tell me a little bit about what you've been doing these past 4 weeks while we've been out of school.
Um, well, I've been playing a lot of video games and board games and card games with my family. I've been painting, running, obviously. I went fishing this past weekend, so yeah.
Sounds fun. Um, so, talk a little bit about your experience with high school athletics. Mahaley, you have participated on 3 teams your entire high school career, and that's a big deal. So, what do you feel like are your biggest takeaways? What are some life lessons, skills, things that you have learned and gained from that experience?
Well, participating in three different sports can definitely bog you down, but it's also been a huge character building experience. I learned time management, and hard work because you just running 3 seasons, you don't get a break. There's no off season. You just have to keep going. And but the rewards that come from hard work are really worth it. I've learned to be a good leader, I feel like. Um, After participating in three sports for 4 years, as my senior year, I think that a lot of the freshmen look up to me. I mean, they ask me questions a lot, and so it feels good to be able to answer those questions and be somebody that younger people can look up to.
That's awesome. And I know I asked you this a while ago, but Mahaley, what's the longest run you've ever done at one time?
Um, in a race, in a race, it's been a 5K, 3.1 miles. In a workout, I've ran up to 8 or 9 miles at a time without stopping. So
Yeah, good deal. So this season, well, really looking back at this whole year so far, you have been a part of 2 conference champion teams already, cross country, indoor track, and it looked like things were looking very well for our spring track as well. Just talk to me a little bit about how the season was going so far.
it was going really well. I mean, we only had 2 meets, but well, I think we only had two. But
Yeah.
in between those 2 meets, a lot of people actually improved. Like their times in the first meet were improved in the second meet, and they got a lot faster, even though it was only like a week in between the meets. And I would have qualified for regionals in the 800. Um, and our 4x8 team was doing really well. We only ran it once, but we won our event that one time we ran it. And we have a freshman on the 4x8 team, and she's doing a really good job of filling in the shoes of Olivia Randolph, who was our senior that graduated last year on the 4x8 team. And so, considering that our freshman is new to the 4x8 and running in general, we've done really good, and it was a huge accomplishment to win our first 4x8 race of the season.
And that was at a meet that was had up several non-conference teams, 3A, 4A teams. So that's a big deal. Uh,
Yeah.
so looking ahead, of course, you're a senior. You're going to be graduating this year. Talk to me a little bit about what your future plans are.
I'm going to be attending Monterey College in the Black Mountain, Asheville area, and I've signed with them, so I'm going to be running cross country and track for them, and I will hopefully be studying criminal justice as a major.
Okay. And you mentioned, I know you said you were considering between them and I think Lisa McCrae.
Correct.
What made you decide on Montreat?
I really loved how Christ-centered it was, and I loved the peaceful atmosphere, and everything was just centered about around making their students better people and more more in touch with God. So I really liked that aspect of things.
I know we're excited for you going there, and of course we'll have to follow you as you continue your running career as well. Um, so obviously we've been in the online learning phase now for a couple weeks, and how has that gone for you? How are you navigating through that? Do you have any tips that you want to share to your talking about being a leader? Here's your chance to share some tips on navigating the online learning.
Well, I already had a couple of online classes through the community college, so that those classes haven't changed that much. The biggest transition for me would be my statistics class through the college. That's been a little bit of a struggle from transitioning to an in-class class to a online class. So that's been difficult, but the teachers are very willing to work with you. So if you're a student and you're struggling with the transition and you don't know what something is, there's plenty of online tutors, and there's the teachers really are willing to work with you because they're having a rough time with this too, and they know how difficult it can be. So yeah, I would suggest to reach out to someone if you're having difficulties, and don't be shy about it because everybody's having difficulties. And I would also suggest setting out a schedule for yourself. Look at your assignments ahead of time, know when they're due, and say, okay, I'm going to do this assignment at this time on this day, and then just get it over with. It feels very nice to have your assignments done by like 5 p.m. or so ever, and then you can just have the rest of the evening to yourself to do whatever you want. So I would just stay on task and set a schedule, and it works out.
Well, I appreciate that public service announcement. um, Mahaley, it's been a pleasure to talk with you. We wish you the best. And again, this is another episode of our Spring Sports Senior Spotlight. Thank you so much, Mahaley.
Well, thank you.